Church, Roiro, the Dream Center, under the leadership of Reverend Hosea and Pastor Zipporah, who are our patron as the teenagers. And they have been of great help even to ensure that this program gets to you. So my name is Teacher Paul, and together with me, I have my friends and fellow panelists of whom we shall be discussing today's topic with. And I would like to give them an opportunity that they may introduce themselves.
Thank you, Teacher Paul. Hi guys, I'm Stephen Kihara. I just want to welcome you to our Pathfinders show. Allow me nisalimie watu watatu important, Reverend and his family, my mentor Nick and my parents at home. Stay tuned and welcome.
Thank you.
Hello viewers, my name is Bonita Wanjao. I'm a born-again Christian, Nanko Form 2. I'd like to shout out to my dad, Stephen Wanjao in Seattle, and my mom and sis back at home. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good evening, viewers. My name is Jocelyn Kawera. I'm a teacher by profession and also a psychologist. I'm a mentor of the young people. And this evening, I want to welcome all of you as we journey through this teenage life with our young people. And even with you parents there at home, we welcome you to give us your contribution. Thank you and welcome.
So thank you so much, my panelists, and for that brief introduction. Today, we are going to have a discussion that is based on the title, Teenage Defined. We want to understand who is a teenager. Many of the times that this term is used, and being a general term, so we'd like us to have some time and like demystify this term and understand who is a teenager, because this teenager is a person. He has characteristics, he has qualities, he has values. So we'd like us to sit together with these teenagers who are representing you as you watch, and we are going to discuss some of the issues they understand from their point of view, and then we understand some issues from the point of view of a psychologist. So before we start, allow me to read a verse in the book of Luke, chapter 2, and verse 45. The Bible says, "So when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem, seeking him. Now, so it was that after 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions." So this verse is referring to Jesus. When he was 12 years, his parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover. And after the feast was over, the parents went home. But Jesus, even at the age of 12, he was left behind in Jerusalem at the temple. But the most interesting thing I would like to understand you as teenagers is that Jesus was found after 3 days by the parents doing 3 important things. And I want to urge you this evening that you purpose to do these 3 things if you be able to go through this phase of your life and come out victorious. The first thing Jesus was doing, the Bible says, he was sitting in the midst of teachers. He was not just sitting in the midst of any mere men or just sitting in the midst of idlers. He was sitting in the midst of teachers. So as we take our time here to share with you some of this wisdom we have this evening, so this is the best forum, and you have chosen the best thing. The second thing that Jesus was doing is that both listening to them. He was not just sitting there idling. He was sitting there listening. So this evening, can you purpose to sit there and listen to what we'll share with you this evening? And the third thing Jesus was doing is that he was asking them questions. So if you have any question, you may write it. We are going to read some comments. And also, these teenagers, they will be representing you. So some of the questions maybe you'd like to have answers. They are ready to represent you and ask those questions. So today, even as we start this program, I would request you, please, you share this page with your friends, with your teens, even to the parents. Welcome, stay tuned, because there is a package for you. So thank you so much. Now, the topic today, as I have introduced, is that we want to understand who is a teenager. And now, before now, as we get to the topic, I want to bring in Steve and ask him, wakati unaposikia hii jina teenager ikitajwa, or maybe you are being referred to as a teenager, so what comes into your mind?
Okay, that's a good question, Chapol.
Thank you.
Okay, according to sisi teenagers, si tunaonaga kuitwa teen ni ukuwa umetoka kwa childhood ukakuja hadi kwa hiyo teenhood. So si tunaonaga tukiwa grown up, na ndio unaweza pata sometimes hadi hatutakagi kukaa na hao watoto wadogo. Yeah.
So you feel now maybe I'm supposed to be referred to as not a child, lakini kama a grown up.
Yeah.
And that thing, so ni kitu unahisi ndani yako now, all una behave hivyo because umeitwa teenager.
Okay, ni kitu hadi inakuwaga ndani yetu. So unajua hakuna venye unaweza kubehave kujivalisha ngozi yenye si yako. So ni kitu tu unaisikiaga tu iko ndani yako, ina flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. Now from the teenagers' point of view, that's how they feel within themselves. There are some changes taking place. Now at this time now to bring in Teacher Jocelyn, from what Steve has shared about teenagers. Now, maybe can you help the parents, even those who are viewing, and even the teenager themselves to understand who is a teenager? Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Teacher Paul,
Yeah.
and thank you so much, Steve, for that. That you are sincere. When you are called a teenager, you feel you have gone out of the childhood, and now you need to be respected. You need to make your own decisions. You need to do things your own way. And actually, Teacher Paul, that is the truth.
Yeah.
When a person reaches the teen age, even the parent themselves communicate with this person that now you are not a small child. They want this person to start doing things their own way.
Yeah.
If this child was being bathed as they grew up, they tell them, now go to the bathroom and start bathing yourself. If this person was maybe being washed for clothes, the parent wants them to start washing their clothes, even as they prepare them for the future life, even a high school and boarding school. So these people now start feeling like they're in charge of everything. Now, the conflict now arises when the parents communicate to this young person, now you are mature enough, and true enough, the teenager will feel, yes, I'm old enough, and then start making decisions.
Yeah.
Now the challenge comes, where does the decision making stop for the teenager?
Yeah.
And where does it start for the parents? That is where the communication breakdown starts.
Yes.
Because the parent does not tell the young person, how much of decisions can you make? The young person also wants to prove to the parents, I have grown. Some of the things they do actually, it's out of pressure from the society.
Yeah.
Let's take, for example, these communities everywhere, when our children are of certain age, especially as they complete the class 8 and go to secondary school, we take them even for the initiation. And in this period, they are treated and they are trained to be independent.
Yes.
They are given a lot of information which they should now practice as adults. And when they come out of there, mostly the parents do not know the boundaries of how much they were told to practice. So this young person wants to practice independence because they have been prepared for the independence.
Yes.
But the parent does not know how much to allow.
Yes.
So this is where now the conflict comes in. The child wants to do too much to prove even to the society who prepared them for the adulthood. Yes, I got your message.
Yes.
But the parent now is also scared.
Yes.
Actually, let me give you an example of the parental feeling. The parental feeling is like somebody who has been driving a car to a place they know so well. So this child, when they were small, it's like their own car. They know the routes. I've been driving this car, and I know where I'm going.
Yes.
So they are driving the car. All of a sudden, the car stops on the road.
Yes.
And why it has stopped is because there are many cars ahead. So the parent or the driver does not know what has made the car to stop. What is blocking ahead.
Yes.
So they start asking anybody, any passerby, ni nini iko huko mbele. They just want to know because they don't know.
Yes.
That is the feeling of our teenage parents. They have been bringing this child so confidently.
Yes.
They have been instructing them. The child has been responsive. The child has been saying yes to everything.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, this car stops on the road, and there's some cars ahead. You don't know what has happened.
Yeah.
So the parent, just the way the driver would ask any person by coming from that direction,
Yes.
what is blocking, what is happening ahead. Now the parent start asking anybody, what is wrong with my child?
Yes.
What is wrong with my child? They call the psychiatrist, they call the psychologist, they call the teacher, they call the pastor, because they don't know. But this person is just the normal. It's just like now this vehicle stops because there's maybe a normal blockage, maybe there's an accident.
Yes.
There's nothing with the car. It's only that it has to slow down to move forward. So the same thing with the teenagers. As they are growing up, there's that place they reach, and they have to transit from childhood to adulthood.
Yes.
They have to prove that they are mature enough. They have to prove they can make decisions as the society demands. But now the parent has not been prepared for that. And in the same way, there was maybe an issue of communication.
Yes.
Maybe there was nothing communicated of what should happen. And then the person who maybe is instructing these people on what to do is not with the parent.
Yes.
So there is a miscord, a discord there of communication. And that is where maybe the conflict will start.
Yes.
Because the teenager wants to prove they can make a decision. The parent does not know what is happening. So they think there is an issue. Conflict starts there, and there's a miscommunication which can affect their relationship.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Now, in the same, because it's like this teenage, it's a phase of life. It's like a transition period. So could it be, it is because of some of the changes taking place, maybe in their bodies, that they tend to react like that? And if so, which are some of those maybe changes that maybe the parent should understand when dealing with the teenagers?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Teenage is a developmental stage, like any other stage. From childhood, we have different developmental stages. We have the first one, we call it from 0 to 18 years.
Yes.
And there are many things which happen as the child starts to adjust from the life in the womb to the life in this world.
Yeah.
Then from there's another stage from 18 months to 3 years.
Yes.
Then there's another stage from 3 years to 5 years. And then there's another stage, we cluster it from 5 years to 12 years.
Yes.
Then now 13 to 19 is what we call the teenage years.
Yes.
And a teenage is that person who has reached age, the numerical age, which is having a number ending with the TEN, 13 to 19. That is the stage. Now, when this age now comes in, every developmental stage has its own issues.
Yeah.
It has the many hassles the child has to overcome. There are many things which the child must go through in preparation for the next stage, and it is affected by how they have come out of the other previous stage. So teenage age has many things. It's actually one of the most delicate stages of life because it is a transition from childhood to adulthood in all aspects, including body, physical development. It is at this stage the body starts preparing itself for adulthood.
Yes.
The girl will start preparing herself to be a mother. the boy will start preparing himself to be a father. So this stage is very critical. The parent will start noticing, even before they are told, that the child is reaching this stage because of the physical developmental issues. The child will start getting anxious over those developmental things which are happening. So there is the anxiety part of this developmental stage. And anxiety can be through so many things. Even at what time does it start? Remember, this is the stage which is somehow connected to what we call adolescence. Adolescence starts a bit earlier, even at 8, 9 years, depending on body makeup, feeding style, and all that. But now, this stage for the teenagers with these developmental issues, adolescents have started. Some of them, maybe if you are already mature, you started your physical features for the adulthood earlier than others. You are too anxious. The other children laughed at you in class. At home, people are concerned. The mother is getting concerned. The girl has started having menstruation, which is an indication they can become a mother. So the way the mother was so free with this girl, you can do anything. Every time this girl wants to go out, the mother is like, wow, this one is going for a birthday. You know, before they would drop them for a friend's birthday early in the morning, and they'll pick them very late in the evening. They are not concerned. Now this girl who has become now a teenager is like, Mom, I want to go for so-and-so's, but and at the back of the mind you are like, wow, this one now at this stage, can I release her freely? So there are so many issues. So this is a guy who knew you didn't take me to somebody's birthday, to my cousin, to my friend's birthday free, and pick me when you want. Why are you not allowing me to go there? But now the mother is concerned. They have seen the physical developmental issues. And this, the developmental issues is telling the mother anything can happen. So the mother is concerned. So there is all the anxiety from the child is experiencing some things they have never experienced. There's anxiety on the child. The mother is concerned that this child, anything can happen. The anxiety is in the mother. So now all of them are anxious, and they can mess in the process. Even communication can come down. There could be a block in communication because the mother is fearing. They are not even ready to tell the girl it's like this and this. The girl is also fearing. It's like this. It's happening to me. My other classmates have not started. The boy is concerned. So there's a lot of anxiety there. So another thing is that this stage comes with a developmental in the mind. The brain keeps on developing just the way any other body part develops. And at teenage, the part which develops most is what we call the frontal lobe, that where there is the decision making, the seat of decision making. So the teenager has all of a sudden realized they can make decisions, and they can make their own decisions. And the parent was there before in charge of all decisions that were made, including dressing. It is the mother or the father who decided what do I buy for you and what do you wear when you're going somewhere. Now this person has now become somebody who can make decisions. I can decide I don't wear this type of a dress. I don't have this type of hairstyle. I don't wear this type of a shoe. And there was no communication in between to tell this child, why was I buying you this type of clothes? Now the child has reached a point they can make decision. Hii ni ya mama. Mimi niko na yangu. So that the conflict now starts at that point because of their decision making. Another thing is that the teenage is a stage where peer influence is too much. In society, people think that it's only the teenagers who have what we call peer influence. But peer influence is any influence of a person who is of your age, or you are sharing the same environment with, or you are in the same status. So even me, I have my peers. You, Teacher Paul, you have your peers.
That's true.
A small child has their own peers. But now me, I can't be influenced too too much by my peers because I can make informed decisions.
That's true.
The small child may not be influenced by the peers so much because when they want something, they see another child taking an ice cream, and they come to ask for the ice cream. You can explain to them, ukikula ice cream, utagojeka, twende hospitali undungwe sindano.
Yeah.
Now they will listen to you.
That's true.
So, but now teenagers, they have now reached a point of making decisions.
Yeah.
So the peer influence now becomes too much because there is this natural behavior at this stage.
Yes.
They just want to rebel anything that comes from any authority. May it be from a parent, may it be from a teacher, may it be from anybody in authority. It is a natural stage whereby they just want to rebel anything.
Yes.
And that which matters most is that from their peers.
Yes.
And that is why peer influence is so crucial at their stage.
Yes.
So when a teenager wants to do something, they have the decision or they have the advice of the parents and that of the peers. They would rather go with the peers.
Yes.
But sometimes the peers is also the same age, so they can't make any informed decision. I've told you they have just started that development of that part of the brain that makes the decision. So it is a challenge which parents have to go through, and they really need to be informed so that this stage is so it's handled carefully that our children are able to transit all the way to the adulthood, and it will be very good for them.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for that. Now, from what I've gathered is that most of the conflict is like they arise from the issue of decision making, because all along it's like the parent has been making decisions for this we call now the child, but now he's transitioning now to become an adult. So it's like he or she is now starting to make some decisions. So, and at this point, maybe I want to bring in Bonita atusaidie kuelewa when we talk about decisions. I think as you get into the teenage years, kuna mambo pengine unaanza kufeel. I think this, if maybe my mom or my dad anaweza niruhusu nianze to make my own decisions, it will be good. So which are some of those areas or some of those things ungependa at least ningekuwa na some freedom to make my own decisions, ingekuwa poa?
That's a very good question, Chapol.
Yeah.
So for example, kuna nguo unataka kuvaa.
Yes.
Mom ananiangalia anasema usivai, toa hii. Endo uvai ile top ya blue. So naona.
Na wewe pengine ulikuwa unataka kuvalia this one. Na like maybe why is it that pengine unataka kuvalia hii na sio hii nyingine? Ni nini huwa ina determine hiyo? Trend.
Ukiona labda beshte yako kuna top ya red na iko trendy, na kuna watu wako na hiyo top, so unaweza taka kuivaa.
So mostly unaangalia your friends, and here you have your mom or your auntie or someone like that. So it's like unajipata like a tug of war between ni friends ama ni my parents, kitu kama hiyo. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that honest contribution. Now, if I bring in Teacher Jocelyn to help now this teenager now, because she is representing many. So you are torn between nifuate wazazi vile wanasema or nifuate my friends. So help this teenager to overcome that challenge. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bonita, for that. That is actually what teenagers have to do. They have that decision. They are wondering, what should I do? And as you're saying, Teacher Paul, it's a bit it's a tricky thing for this stage to really flow smoothly, but it is a possibility for the stage to flow smoothly. and the parents and their teenagers have something in common,
Yes.
which is good for them as they go through this stage. I'll say that this stage, there are two things parents need to understand.
Yes.
There's what we call risky behavior,
Yes.
and there's what we call difficulty behavior. Risky behavior is anything a teenager will do and it is going to cause harm.
Yes.
Difficulty behavior is anything the teenager is doing, it's not rhyming with your values,
Yes.
but it's not causing any harm. So if a parent is able to differentiate the two,
Yeah.
because you should handle the two of them differently. If, for example, Bonita says she wants to wear a certain dress, and the mother is there saying, no, don't wear this. The first thing is, we need to ask ourselves, is it risky for her to go out in that dress?
Yeah.
If it is risky,
Yes.
the behavior of the mother should be different.
Yeah.
But there are those times where what she wants to wear is not risky, as in it's not really maybe exposing her, it's not portraying her body features and all that.
Yes.
But I have my values.
Yes.
So I want her to fit in my values. Actually, in parenting, we call it parenting, a toxic parent. A toxic parent is one who wants things done for our own satisfaction, not for the satisfaction of,
Yeah.
of the child. So, parents, let's not be toxic. Let's try to look at the child themselves. So let's differentiate what is risky behavior and what is difficult behavior.
Yes.
So things like getting engaged into drug or issues of sex,
Yes.
that is a risky behavior,
Yes.
because it can cause harm.
Yes.
And in that case, the parents should stamp their feet and say what should happen.
Yes.
But then it should not be on the day you see it. Because these are things you should have prepared the child from childhood.
Yes.
Let the child know what are the values.
Yes.
Why don't we wear tight clothes in this family? Why don't we wear clothes that are thigh high
Yes.
in this family?
Yes.
Why don't we wear tops that are low neck in this family? Right from childhood.
Yes.
But then, as I said there earlier, you see now when the child was simple, it was like your car. You switch on the engine, you drive it where you want to,
Yes.
to go. But the day that the car stops on the road, you start wondering, what is wrong with this car?
Yeah.
Because you have never learned the issues of this car. So the same thing parents let learn. Now let's take now this parent, you have the teenager and you never prepared them for that time when they were young. So you, the teenager, is there and issues have started to happen. One thing I would say is, parents, one thing we need to understand is the mood of these young people. Their mood will change. When they want to do something, and they even know it is wrong,
Yeah.
the mood will change. Even the way they will behave to you,
Yeah.
the mood is going to change.
Yes.
Now, as a parent, if you want to hit the nail on the head on that mood,
Yes.
there's going to be chaos in the family.
That's true.
I normally say this. I've watched sometimes drama, and adjudicators, however bad the play is,
Yes.
they give that play time
Yes.
to complete, then they give their comments.
Yeah.
The same thing with the parents. Some things with these young people,
Yeah.
sometimes it calls for your patience.
Yes.
You have been assigned the duty. The adjudicator is there to adjudicate the drama.
Yeah.
And they will stay and watch it however bad it is and give their comments
Yeah.
at the end of the play. Because you cannot cut a play when it is on. So the same thing with issues of teenagers. Parents, please, don't remember you have an assignment to parent these children. You have that assignment from God.
Yeah.
So when you see something, don't hit there and run.
Yes.
Can you let the play come to the end? Take your notes of what you want to be corrected. And then now after the play is over,
Yes.
give your comments.
Yes.
Don't give the comment when people are on tension.
Yeah.
When people are on the stage, tension is normally very high.
That's
So
true.
don't start correcting them when they are on the stage. If you want your corrections to reach somewhere, please wait for them to finish that behavior.
Yeah.
When you notice something, don't always hit on the head. Everything you hit when it is there, let them, as long as it is not risky behavior. I've said this difficult behavior.
Yes.
For risky behavior, you correct it there. But for difficult behavior, which is the most common, please give it, let them, if you, like for example, you have seen them, you have told them to go and read. And instead of reading, the child has gone to the bedroom and locked themselves and they have slept. Don't go banging the door.
Yeah.
Let them sleep.
Yes.
Let the sleep end.
Yes.
That is the play.
Yes.
Then now comment
Yes.
after the play is over. Another thing is, the teenagers have that aggressive thing. They want to prove their point.
Yes.
So when they are told something, they will tell you what they think. Parents, please don't cut them off.
Yes.
You know, when they are speaking, that is what is inside them. You parents, can you cool down? Let them talk what is in them.
Yes.
Do you know what? When they are talking, they are emptying what is inside them.
Yes.
Once the debe is empty, you will be able to feed your information.
That's true.
But if you stop them when they are telling you, Mom, this is bad. Mom, you don't understand me. Mom, I'm very annoyed. Let them tell you. Give them the ears.
Yes.
Let them tell you. Let it come out. Then once it is complete, they will run out of words to say. They will run out of words to express themselves. Now, once it is empty,
Yes.
sit down with them and now feel that emptiness with the right things.
Yes.
But trying to stop them when they are now at the climax of their behavior, you will not penetrate
Yes.
because you are adding your good values to what is not right.
Yeah.
So let the wrong things come out, give audience.
Yes.
And that is where the parent will lack.
Yes.
We don't have the patience to give them the audience.
Wow.
The minute we give them audience, we just let them say anything. Let
Yes.
them scream. Let it come out.
Yes.
Then you calm down,
Yes.
sit down and talk with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So even if you see maybe a certain behavior that maybe you don't like, just take time, let it cool down. So thank you so much. Now, you talked about instilling family values. So now with the current economic hardships and the way people are busy trying to get the bread for the family, so sometimes the parent leaves early in the morning and then he or she will be back very late at night. So when is this best time that now the parents now can instill these values to their teenagers? And when should it start?
Paul, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And before I answer your question,
Yes.
I want to ask these teenagers of ours.
Yes.
Let me start with Steve. Steve, when is the best time you feel? Or let's start it this way. Do you feel your parent give you audience when you need it?
Okay, unajua sometimes wanakuwaga ile busy sana, so unaweza pata asubuhi ametoka ameenda kazi,
Yeah.
labda hadi uliamka huku mpata, jioni amerudi amechoka, so unaona yeye anataka tu kule afanye chenye anafanya alale,
Yeah.
juu hadi kesho the following day ako na job. Lakini wewe kuna ile time yenye jioni unakuwa tu umetulia hapo hivyo, una expect mzazi akwambie Steve umeshindaje, unaona haongei, unapata hadi mtu ameenda bedroom amejifungia anasema acha heri niingie online.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve, for that sincere. Yeah? So, Teacher Paul, you have heard it.
Yeah.
Parents, you are so busy, and we are not busy for ourselves.
Yes.
I'm a parent also.
Yes.
I have a teenager and I have a young adult.
Yeah.
And I get busy to make sure that there are food in the plate. And I also get busy to ensure that they have maybe their education is catered for.
Yeah.
But now, as Steve has said, sometimes as a parent I forget that this person, you know, to them, they don't see the need for the money. Sometimes they need me more than the money. Actually, they don't even understand that I'm struggling for them to get that food. They don't understand I'm struggling for them for that Wi-Fi to be on throughout. So they are like, okay, me, I'm thinking, see, they have Wi-Fi. They can go online and read. They can maybe communicate with their friends and all that. So to me, I'm seeing like, it's okay. But to them, they are seeing I'm not available for them. And it is true for us parents. And most of the time, when I am not there for my child, Steve has put it well, he will go online. When he goes online, the culture you will get there is different from my family values. I have my things which I expect Steve to do, but I'm so busy to tell him I want him to do this and this. So when I'm busy, I lock myself in the bedroom, Steve will get another and vice versa. And they'll go online. And he's going to get informed. And from there, he will start acting the way he has been informed. So that's what happens. So the challenge is on us parents. We need to sacrifice so that we have time for our children. In as much as we are looking for money, there are so many parents who have come back with money, but they have not met the child there. The child is already lost in drugs. The child is lost in early pregnancy. The child is lost in prostitution. Academics, you thought you are struggling to maintain your children in the best schools. By the time you come back with the money, that child even in that school is already chased away because they could not cope and not prepared them. So as parents, we just have to sacrifice and have some time. Decide whether it is morning or evening. For me, I would recommend an evening. At least twice or thrice a week. Have supper with your children as a family. Talk together. Put off everything. The other day I was talking with the parents, and he was giving me an example of how they just hand the children and the parents. And they were telling the children, here you must give an answer. Between mom and dad, whom do you like most? And the children had to say, whom do they like most? And they got the shock of their life and the truth from the children. Because children will always say the truth. So let's have time and let's be ready to hear from them. You know, we are so fast and so good in telling them, but we hardly want to hear from them. We assume they are empty vessels. Teenagers are not empty vessels. They have even bigger ideas which can develop the family if we listen to them. There's some family project we need to discuss with these people. Let them not just see things coming up. Let them just not see buildings coming up, businesses. I don't know, you know, let them come in and feel their own. And in that way, we are also preparing them for adulthood. I told you teenagers start transition. There are those who will transit to adulthood. They end the teenage by just going over 19 years, but they are 20, but still they are adolescents because we have not prepared them for the other life. So it is very important that we have time with our children so that we can instill in them our values, and then if they go off the line, we have a reference. We agreed as a family, we shall be doing this and this. The way Bonita was saying, I mean, when you are together as a family, you agree, here we shall be dressing this way. Why are we dressing? Actually, the most important question for a teenager is, why are we doing this? Why are we being told this? Go to school. They are told to go to the field. Why are we being told to go to the field? They are told to wear a tie. Why are we being told to wear a tie? You know the why. So if parents are ready to sit with our children and address the why, communication will be easier. Upholding the values will be easier, and the family will be at least together in one unity. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insight. Now, I want to bring in Steve. Now, tuseme sasa, iyo time imepatikana. Because like, for example, now tuseme, the parents is not very busy, ako nyumbani, you have time with him. So, which are some of the things that you'd like to hear, especially from your father, to be specific, as you go through these teenage years.
Okay, unajua ka wazazi wetu,
Yeah.
some of them they are born again, some of them unaelewa, si ndio?
Yeah.
Lakini kuna venye mzazi anaweza act, anaonyesha hey Steve, huko kwenye hii stage yenye huko si hatukupitia. Sasa mimi naweza taka kujua wao walipitia juu au venye wanaactigi, it's like walirukaga hiyo stage yetu. Yeah.
So ukiangalia hivi unaona ni kama kuact. Yes, so you'd like at least to sit down na kuelezea kama the things that you're going through pia wao walipitia.
Juu saa unaweza pata okay, wazazi wengine like my father is a pastor.
Yeah.
So yeye venye ana act, hazi act kama ati alipitia teen. Unaweza okay, hadi si unashinda kwa kwani mzazi alifika teenhood akakuwa malaika ama. Yeah, juu sasa hadi venye hao wana actigi.
Yes.
Ndio maana unaweza pata mzazi ako harsh kwako, hadi unashindwa haizinielewa ama ni nini. Yeah.
So I think you'd like to know kama wao walipitia hiyo age, hiyo teenage years.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for that honest contribution, Bonita. With some of the things that you'd like maybe at least to get maybe from your mother.
From my mom?
Yes, for example.
Maybe advice. Advice na example. Si anakuambia don't do this, don't do that. Labda for example, maybe a party. Alisema siku moja walienda party. Maybe a best friend got drunk. Stories ka hizo you can relate to. Sasa akikwambia tu advice akurushie maneno, unashangaa utaichukua aje.
So that's a challenge. So thank you so much for that honest contribution. Now, I want to bring in Teacher Jocelyn. Now, you've heard those honest comments. Now, which are some of those issues that the parents should know at least they need to do? Now, when we say that they need to communicate with their teenagers, which are some of those main issues that they need to discuss with their teenagers as they go through these teen years?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting amused with our teenagers.
Yeah.
They are so sincere.
That's true.
Yeah. You know, when you hear Steve says that, you know, anajiulizanga hawa wazazi kwani walikaa ma angels walipofika hii stage, kwani wao hawakuwa, you know. And that is why even some teenagers, when you tell them something, they think as parents we are so analog. You know, they think we never went through what they are going through. That is why they think we are too analog. You know, they can't even share. You know, if Steve doesn't imagine the father went through that, you know, he start wondering, where can I start sharing? If he doesn't think the father went through. I know Pastor Kiara has done some good work. But I'm talking now to that parent out there. You've blocked communication completely from your child. And because we are in the church and we are born again, so we are only hallelujah, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. So the only thing the teenagers know, maybe the communication they know, pray for food, read the verse of the Bible, read us with our worship before we pray. And I can see the way they are nodding. You know, that is, they are representing our teenagers out there. That is what teenagers go through. Now, for us parents, we just have to hold the bull by its horn. Sometimes the experiences we went through, they may not be very enticing, but we want to look like we are okay to our children. Now, parents, I'm addressing you, being one of them. Let us accept the truth and let's tell our children the truth. Teacher Paul, let me tell you one thing. If Bonita has issues with a boy, and the mother sat her down and shared with her the challenges she had with boys when she was growing up, Bonita will feel, wow, hata we mom, ulipitia hii yote.
Yeah.
And you know the next boy who will come and play around with Bonita,
Yes.
Bonita will have a story.
Yes.
Because mom has told her the stories she had with the boy.
Yes.
So the Bonita will be looking for stories out there with any boy who will come to play around with her, and she'll be looking for one to go and share part of the story
Yes.
with the mother.
That's true.
But if the mother has never, you as camouflaged me, I was carried by the angel to your father, and you never had anything. I never had any boyfriend before. Your father was the only boyfriend. I know she's listening to us, and that is not the case. And I
Yes.
can use her as my example. She's my friend.
Yes.
But I'm saying parents, let not camouflage.
Yes.
And you find a parent got a child out of wedlock.
Yes.
And this is a girl.
Yes.
And the girl somehow has picked some traits from what the mother was.
Yes.
And the mother is acting an angel.
Yes.
Is only calling this girl names.
Yes.
And trying to tell her, you will not embarrass me. But he's not telling her, why do you think I'm going to embarrass you, mom?
Yes.
You know, sit down with her. You know something?
Yes.
When I was a girl like this,
Yes.
my mother was telling me this way, and I dodged my mother because she could not know.
Yes.
I felt I was so clever than my mother, but this is the consequences.
Yes.
You are one of the result of what happened in my life. So the girl will be like, wow, mom, you mean it was like this? I'm not going to embarrass you in that line.
Yes.
And you see now that they start sharing, and they can now move further. A boy will be out there. Boys, when they grow up, we release them to the society, even as we prepare them for manhood.
Yes.
They'll come across other boys who are waiting for them.
Yeah.
They will even be introduced to drugs innocently.
Yes.
Most of the boys will be introduced to drugs innocently.
Yeah.
And they'll be told to taste. So if Steve's father was able to share with Steve, amwambie mimi karibu
Yes.
nikue a smoker,
Yes.
because of the friends and all that.
Yes.
You see, Steve, the day he'll have come across
Yes.
somebody trying to introduce him to such things, oh, Steve will be looking forward. Daddy shared with me a story.
Yes.
Now today I have a story, Daddy. Kuja nikwambie story.
Yes.
And you see now, that now break, it blocks, it unblocks
Yes.
that which is between them, the wall. The
Yes.
wall goes down,
Yes.
and communication comes in. But now the parent, you want to sit these people down,
Yes.
give them musomo from the top to the bottom,
Yeah.
and when they finish, they are like, musomo imeisha.
Yeah.
You know, when you call them, you tell them, I want to talk to them, they start asking, hey, leo musomo ni ya nini?
Yeah.
You know, they are like, they are preparing for the musomo. Umesikia leo kuna musomo? You know,
Yes.
the father want to talk with them, but they are looking at ni
Yeah.
musomo. Juu watasomewa from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
They will not contribute. The way they will be approached, they will not even have the room to say. One thing the teenagers don't like,
Yeah.
I don't know whether Bonita will agree with me or
Yes,
Steve.
yes.
They don't like face-to-face communication. That you are opposite me on the table, I'm telling you what I
Yes,
think.
yes.
It blocks them. Actually, I normally say even in school, let teachers avoid this, or you looking at the student like
Yes,
this and
yes.
you asking them, what did you do wrong?
Yes.
They will not tell you anything. Because that thing only flight them. You know,
Yes.
there are so many changes going on through them. It's confusing them.
Yes.
And now this other one on face-to-face, you are looking them right in the eyes,
Yeah.
it just makes them go off. So you can improve, like those stories I'm saying, look for an opportunity to share. If it's the mother, call the girls in the kitchen.
Yes.
As you prepare some chapati there and the stew,
Yes.
talk things.
Yes.
Tell them things.
Yes.
Tell them, the way there's a time I had cooked chapati. And then I carried in the pocket for this boy in school.
Yes.
And this boy, it went like this and this and this. And then start a conversation
Yeah,
there. The
yeah.
same thing, Steve, you can go and join your father as you tell him, Daddy Leo, let's go and clean your car. Don't take it to the car wash. And as you clean the car, nobody is looking at each other.
Yeah.
You talk stories, you share, you open up. And that environment, the teenagers will open more. Instead of giving them amsomo
Yes.
when they are sitting down.
Yes.
So we really need to improve on that bit
Yes.
of how do we communicate with our young people.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So communication is two-way. So the parent is communicating, and then now the teenager is responding. So that is a conversation. So thank you so much for that. Naona Mshoki ametuwekea mataa. agreeing. And as we conclude, I thank God because of the flow of our conversation. I believe even as you sit there, you are learning a lot from this. Now, as we come to the conclusion of today's discussion, I want to bring in Steve and ask you, so as we come to the conclusion, so even as you address your fellow teenagers, I know they are watching. So which are some of the things, maybe at least highlight one or two things maybe that you've learned as we have been discussing, that also you would like your fellow teenagers to understand.
Okay, thank you, Chapel. Okay, according to me, chenye nimelearn ni eti hii stage yetu sisi peke yetu tunapitia.
Yeah.
Kuna adinyi wazazi mulipitia hapo. And thank you so much, Cha Jocelyn, for that. Yeah.
So at least now you know that even the parents, they went through this phase.
Yeah.
And then, so even as we come, maybe ukienda huko, find time, talk about these issues. And also you can even just talk to your friends in a language that wataelewa, how they need to go, and just talk with their parents about certain issues. So thank you so much. Bonita.
I would like first to thank you, Teacher Paul and Cha Jocelyn. Okay, mi nimelearn kuna difficult behavior na risky behavior.
Yes.
So risky behavior, kenye nimesikia ni, it will have a lot of, it will have consequences.
Yes. Yeah.
Na difficult behavior,
Yes.
ni na depend na morals za parents.
Yes. So itakusaidia even as you make decisions, nifuate vile mzazi anasema ama vile teenager or my friends wanasema kuhusu a certain issue. So thank you so much for that contribution. At least we are moving in and you have learned something. Now, as we wind up, so I'd like Teacher Jocelyn just to make your final comments and address maybe the at this time, the teenagers, they will be at home for a long period of time. This has never happened. So that harmony that they exist with their parents before schools reopen. So maybe you can mention a two or thing concerning this time that they have together with their teenagers at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Teacher Paul. As we conclude, I have maybe 3 words. The first one is to our teenagers.
Yes.
Please, our young people, you are growing up. And most of the time, what maybe your parents will tell you, however they try to dodge, they are not telling you in black and white.
Yes.
They are telling you for your own good. They have been there. Some of us parents may lack the courage to tell you how it was for us as you are growing up. So as teenagers, listen to your parents. These people have brought you from very far. I normally tell, especially boys, between boys and the girls, and even the girls, I tell them, even if your mother was given your back, they'll know who you are. You, if I cut your back and I bring it there in front of you, you start wondering who this one is. But your mother has handled your back so much, she knows you, even where you don't know yourself. So when you hear your parents telling you do this and this, in as much as you may not understand why they are saying it, for now, first listen. Yeah? You can ask questions as you move on. But that advice which comes from your mother or from your father, it is advice that has been tested and they know what is the best for you. If they were not for your good, they would have done away with you long time ago. So the sacrifice they have done for you to be whom you are today it is evidence enough that they care about you and what they are telling you, please listen to them.
Yes.
Don't be divided between obeying your parents and your teenagers or what you see in social media.
Yes.
Always put the ones of your parents a priority in every decision you make.
Yes.
The second one is to the parents.
Yes.
Parents, please let's avoid a lot of drama with our young people.
That's true.
I send sometimes when they are on the stage, give them the time. Just the way the adjudicator is paid to adjudicate the drama, you have the responsibility.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to adjudicate the drama, list the comments, then you discuss when the tempers are down.
That's true.
You are mature, these people are still growing up.
Yes.
So avoid so much drama and be the mature parents and then instill the advice to these people.
Yes.
Sometimes when you find them in a quarrel, even with the others at home, as long as it's not dangerous, let them empty up.
Yes.
Once the debe is empty, now sit down and feed it with the right information.
Yes.
Don't have so much drama, especially now that they are staying at home.
Yes.
Like, for example, you want them to read, but you have not told them why they should read.
Yeah.
Some of them don't understand. Why should I read now? And they are used to reading when the exam is tomorrow.
Yes.
So you have not shared with them, you have not informed them how they can read now, and in 2021, that which they are reading today is still beneficial.
Yes.
I told you I do mentorship.
Yes.
I have a mentorship program for students.
Yes.
And most students, when they come, I show them how you can read today. And that which you read today is still with you in 2022. They are like, wow, you mean it is possible?
Yeah.
So they don't know. So when they don't understand why I should read, I told you the teenagers want to be answered the why.
Yes.
Please take your time and explain the why. And where you cannot be able to explain the why, look for somebody who can explain the why to them, so that you can have good harmony in the house.
Yes.
And then the last one is to the community.
Yes.
All of us in the church, in the community, the teachers and all that. Please let all of us play our role correctly. I know corrective parenting came to an end when now the family unit became so small. And most of the time I would walk on the road, I see Bonita is doing something bad, and the only concern is that I go and tell my son, I should not see you with that girl.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned with Bonita, I'm concerned with my girl.
Yes.
And then with my son.
Yes.
So, and I don't know who is the other girl. My son will come and bring to me whom I have not seen as Bonita.
Yeah.
So I only shielded off Bonita because I saw her.
Yes.
But I didn't know who is else doing something else.
Yeah.
So what am I saying to us, the community? I think we have to go back to the crossroads.
Yes.
We have ignored these people so much. I just see a boy taking some drugs on the road, and I'm like, wow, as long as it's not mine, it is okay. And the next thing is I'll be discussing Steve, the way he's taking drugs with somebody else. And I go and tell my neighbor, uyo kijana, usidhubutu kumkuruhusu wakwe na kijana wa, na kijana wako. You see, now we are failing there because we are failing in the parenting. Actually, I've written a book on parenting in the teenagers in the 21st century. And one of the things I'm emphasizing is that please let's go back to the crossroad and try to bring our children together as a community. Let me not just stay with my children alone, because tomorrow I'll need Bonita, I'll need Steve for my daughter, I'll need Bonita for my son. So let's uphold this, all of us. And by doing that, we shall help them even as they grow up, and we shall have a generation. Because we have a generation to prepare for tomorrow. Thank you.
So thank you so much, even for those wonderful contributions, Steve and Bonita. May God bless you so much, even for Steve and Bonita to accept to represent. There's so many teenagers who are out there. The views that you have learned, the questions that you have asked on their behalf, I believe they have learned something. So may God bless you so much for tuning in. Continue expecting much from this channel. We shall be doing this by the grace of God next time. Now, I see the ball is on your court. All the things and the information we have shared today is aimed at equipping you, helping you through, you go through this important phase of your life. And even to the parents, the information we are sharing here will help you even as you live with your teenager. So may God bless you so much. See you next week by the grace of God. Bye.